thing you said, that committing suicide is a very sinful activity. But how we justify the samadhi? I know that in the spiritual world it's very common practice. People do that, but for the if you look from the ordinary person and perspective, it looks like it's kind of a committing suicide, like it's taking a jal samadhi, agni samadhi, or whatever they used to do in the ancient age also and recent age also. I can say we heard time to time some acharya or rishi has taken jal samadhi or something by their own way they have taken their life. Is it isn't it like it's kind of a committing suicide instead of having a natural death?
So there is a difference between samadhi and suicide. I can explain that a little bit, but I have not heard about jal samadhi and agni samadhi. This is the first time I'm hearing that. So now
So
sometimes when
I'm
the
sure
acharyas,
if you are from UP, you heard about Devraha Baba. You heard about his name? He was
no,
very, very, and people used to say nobody. People used to say he was like a 300, 4 years old person, and when he died, and he has seen a lot of president and prime minister in India, and everybody has seen him in the same stature, like old and monk. And he took in the late 90s, he has taken the Jal Samadhi and he just disappeared. So these kind of things I have heard, and he was also from Allahabad or some Prayagraj location. That's all I know about him, but I heard this. So this practice is still there. So how we can justify Samadhi versus suicide?
okay, so sometimes we get confused with the word samadhi. So first of all, we have to understand that one of the samadhis that we say is when the elevated the spiritualist, the transcendentalist, when they naturally pass away, then sometimes we put their body in a samadhi posture and we make a samadhi of their bodies. Basically, we don't ordinary people, we cremate their bodies, we burn their bodies. The idea is that because the soul is for ordinary mundane people, the soul is very attached to the body, and even when the soul leaves the body, because the soul is very attached to the body, it tries to get inside the body. It doesn't leave that place because it is so attached to the body. It basically somehow tries to get inside. So therefore, what is said is the body has to be cremated, so that once the body is destroyed, the soul will lose its attachment, it will get detached, and it will continue further in the next life. So sometimes the elevated spiritual transcendentalists, the acharyas, when they pass away naturally, their body is not burnt, is not cremated like what we do for ordinary people, because these people, they are spiritualists, they are not attached to their bodies, they use their bodies as temple of Krishna, they use their bodies in service of Krishna. So for them, the samadhi can be made. Their bodies are considered as sacred because they have always used their body in the service of Krishna. It is considered that their bodies are like temples, and you can offer obeisances to their bodies as we are offering obeisances to Krishna. In that sense, we basically, and that reminds, when we make those samadhis um, for those elevated Vaishnavas or transcendentalists, that reminds us that we similarly have to dedicate our own lives to Krishna or to God, and serve them wholeheartedly. Now there is another category of samadhi, that is when the yogis take samadhi. So the Ashtang yogis, and it is actually described in the Srimad Bhagavatam at various places. The when they attain perfection, these yogis, Ashtang yogis. So the perfection of yoga is basically the if you understand, we have different vayus in the body. There are five prominent vayus: pran, apan, vyan, udan, and saman. These are the five prominent vayus. So the prana vayu. So what these yogis do is, there are seven different chakras in the body, and they basically raise their pran vayu upwards gradually. And then the idea is that they have to bring their pran to the topmost chakra, which is here in the head, and then from there they have to break open the skull, and then they have to go out from here. And if they are able to do that, then that is considered to be the perfection. They have achieved the perfect state, and then they can go to their desired spiritual planet, either spiritual planet or the like a higher material planet. Some yogis, they don't want to go to any spiritual destination. They want to be situated in the material, but in a certain different elevated planet, in the higher planet. you know So that is one of the samadhis that is mentioned. So that samadhi is approved, and what is also mentioned at certain places in Srimad Bhagavatam is when they do that, it's not that you have to go and cremate their bodies. The bodies automatically, they generate a fire from within their bodies, and their bodies, they are automatically kind of destroyed, and the soul leaves the body and it goes to a higher destination. So that is one of the samadhis that is mentioned. Now there is a third category which is all often confused. It is called as Prayavrat. Now Prayavrat is, sometimes people say that it is like a suicide, but sometimes the transcendentalists, they take this Prayavrat. So this Prayavrat is basically, they will not accept any food and water, and they will only focus on the Supreme Lord, and in that way they will leave the body. But they do that only when their body has become obsolete for some reason. For example, there was a sannyasi. He was a disciple of Srila Prabhupada, and he was diagnosed with dementia. And then the doctors had said that it's going to get worsen now. And so this Maharaj, this sannyasi, I'm missing the name, maybe Jiva Mataji or Paripu might remember the name, but he decided to take Prayavrat, and some of his disciples and other people said that, why are you doing this? So he said that actually, the purpose of my life is to serve Krishna, serve Srila Prabhupada, but if I'm not able to do that, why should I maintain this body? Let me continue in my spiritual journey. But he was pretty, he's very advanced in age, and there are such examples given in the scriptures also of Prayavrat. Many sages also used to take this Prayavrat. There is one example that is given in the Mahabharata about Prayavrat, where Duryodhan decides to take Prayavrat, and Duryodhan is pretty young at that time, and when he goes to insult the Pandavas, I mean the Pandavas were in the forest, he basically goes with his whole entourage, and they set up their whole thing, all the opulent things, and they are trying to show to the Pandavas that we are enjoying so opulently, but there the Gandharvas attack them, and the Gandharvas, they capture Duryodhan, and at that time the Pandavas come and they have to release, basically fight with the Gandharvas. So Arjuna fight with Chitraratha, and then he defeats Chitraratha, and then he releases Duryodhan from their captivity. So Duryodhan, he thought that I came here to show my opulence, and here I had to actually be saved by these Pandavas. So he said, there is no use for me to live now. I'll commit suicide by following this Prayavrat. So at that time, many different people come and tell him that what you're doing is very sinful. You will get a lot of sinful reactions for this, because you are a young person and you're not a transcendentalist that you are doing it for a higher purpose. You're doing it because you are feeling insulted. So there has to be a higher purpose to take Prayavrat. It's not that because you are frustrated from your life for whatever reason you will take Prayavrat and commit suicide. So if you do that, then there has to be there are very severe sinful reactions that come because of that. And the scriptures does not recommend that. Any such activity that is done according to scripture, it has to has a higher purpose. If there is a higher purpose, so there are two different dharmas. There is paradharma and aparadharma. If the purpose is to follow paradharma, which is the transcendental dharma, which is to basically serve the Supreme Lord, that is paradharma. If your purpose of an activity is paradharma, then there is no sinful reaction. But if it is anything else besides that, then there has to be sinful reactions.
Thank you, Prabhuji.